Hey guys, this is Jay Calderon with Jay Unboxing here, giving you my personal prediction for Vasyl Lomachenko versus Masayoshi Nakatani. And remember, this is just my take. Of course, yours can be left down in the comments. I'd love to hear them all. Just a bit of fight info here. We do have Loma versus Nakatani. It's a non-title fight being held at the Virgin Hotels Las Vegas in Nevada there, of course, where I think Top Ranks is having a series of fights for the next, or for the, like a 4-week chain here. It'll be happening on Saturday and, of course, airing on ESPN in the States. And the fight is fairly interesting in a few ways, and both have a common opponent in world lightweight champion Teofimo Lopez. While both clearly lost, Nakatani overperformed in the bout, while Lomachenko seemed to underwhelm. And this is Loma's first fight back since the Lopez defeat, while Nakatani managed an upset win over Felix Verdejo back in December. Nakatani might have some of the momentum at the same time. Loma might be needing to look to do, his best performance in his career at this point in a position where he's really being questioned for the first time. So there's lots of different stories that are kind of developing as you go into this fight weekend. Some interesting storylines, if you will. So without getting too much deeper, let's just get into the breakdown of the fight. I think for Loma to win, he needs to get back to being Lomachenko. The strangest part of watching Lomachenko face Lopez was that he didn't look himself. Part of that has to be credited to Lopez, of course, for doing so well. You could also argue that Lomachenko has been more and more hesitant to let go of his full arsenal, as the punchers at 135 pounds make him pay for it all the more, and it can make him a little more gun-shy. In either situation, Loma is going to have to get through that. Nakatani is awkward enough that if Loma is going to let himself, get worried or concerned and allow for Nakatani to hang around and not, dictate the pace himself, Loma could get he could really have a difficult night on his hands. Therefore, it's very important Loma uses what makes him special and made him successful in the first place. I also think he needs to use his angles to set up the left hook and right cross. Part of what made Loma special in particular were his angles. He would really step into the angle, really turn his man around, and that will pay off here, especially against a tall, lanky fighter like Nakatani. If Loma can step to the left and dip under a Nakatani right and land the right hand of his own, it's available. Going to the other side leaves the left hook there. Both shots that Nakatani has been susceptible to in the past, and it's using quick feet and turning his man that will give Lomachenko a great chance of success, and for landing those shots and really allowing for him to be the fighter that he has expressed himself to be in the past. Finally, I would say don't forget the body. One thing that drives me crazy when a shorter man fights a taller man is when the former just forgets to target the body. It's there for you. It's rail thin. It will hunch him over and make him more hittable. Why would you not go to the body? And with Loma, it makes even more sense as he has a very respectable body attack. Jab to the body. Those angles can be used to set up body shots as well. Whatever your preference, but the body attack could be key. Now, for Nakatani to win, I think he needs to use the long jab to keep offsetting the smaller man. This should be an obvious one. Use your dimensions. Nakatani has over 5 inches in reach, so snapping out a responsible jab only makes sense. Do I think Nakatani beats Loma in a boxing match all night? No. But he can go 20 or 30 seconds just jabbing and trying to frustrate Loma. I think that might have, some decent implications for Nakatani in the fight. Double and triple it at times too. Just make sure you get it going and that you don't overuse it, but you use it enough that it's offsetting the guy trying to come forward at times and that is trying to set up his arsenal. I would also say time the right hand over the top. A shot I think could work for Nakatani could be the right hand over the top. Again, this will depend on timing. Nakatani can have real success if he's able to anticipate Loma throwing a right of his own and can space himself and Lomachenko well. If the distance is right, Nakatani can punch Loma and really extend the shot and be out of range for Loma to hit him, giving Nakatani the better chance of scoring with something more hurtful. While exchanging too much is probably not in Nakatani's best interest, it could pay off if he reads the situation correctly. And finally, avoid letting Lomachenko get off his combinations. When Loma really gets going, he's throwing punches and bunches and firing off these bursts with regularity. It's then when his skill and speed can blind you and leave you guessing and ultimately overwhelmed and behind in a fight. To avoid that, Nakatani has to make it a bit uglier at times, a little slower, hold when you need to make it a jabbing contest. Do little things like that can add up and force Loma to reset, and hopefully for Nakatani never really get going in the fight. And Nakatani will then have at least a better chance of either landing something successfully or making it a close competitive fight. Ultimately, though, with my pick, this fight seems to be going two ways for me. Either it's much harder for Loma than expected and he boxes to an ugly decision, or I think this is most likely going to happen. He figures out his man and puts on quite a show. Personally, I don't see Nakatani having a great chance in this fight. Barring Nakatani catching Loma with something he can't handle, which, again, Loma has shown a susceptible chin at 135, so it's not impossible. But barring something like that, I expect Loma to take a few rounds to read his man, start using those angles to fire off right crosses, and begin with his combination shots. I do expect the body attack as well. And also with the kind of combination of all that, I can see Loma dropping Nakatani late before winning a comfortable, wide, pretty solid unanimous decision. Loma via UD. The betting odds sort of suggest that I'm kind of on the right track here with Vasyl Lomachenko being a minus 1,200 to Nakatani being a plus 700. Again, with Loma having, been a bit hesitant against Lopez and his power, being dropped in a fight with Jorge Linares. Could you potentially reasonably justify laying a little bit on Nakatani just because of the odds and the fact that that's happened? Sure. If you're looking to bet on Lomachenko, I would suggest otherwise. It's just not a lot of value there. But if you can find an over-under that's interesting to you, that might be your best bet in terms of, where to kind of put some money down. Because otherwise, long shot's all you can really call. Prediction record going into the weekend is 18-6-2 with 7 exact. Let me know what you guys think, though, down in the comments. How do you think Lomachenko's going to look coming back? Do you think Nakatani's going to do better than people expect, like he has in his last 2 fights? I would love to hear all your thoughts, predictions, bets, so on and so forth. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and follow at jcalderon_JOB. And you can email me at jonboxing@gmail.com. Would love to hear from you there. Also, be sure to check out jonboxing.com for schedule, results, betting odds, rankings, and more. And as always, until next time.